welcome back again. Karibu sana. Welcome back. I'm back here, although I'm some minutes late, but it is later than there's a word that is Kizungu and whatever. It's very difficult for me. So welcome back to our normal business, as normal show, and hot seat here on the steering on the front line happening to Dennis, if you can call me here today na kukaribisha moja kwa moja katika mchezo wetu wa siku hii ya leo, tuweze kupiga 1 2 3 4 5 6 mpaka tufike hadi mwisho. So karibu sana, tuweze kupiga mawili matatu kuhusiana na ile ambayo tunataka kuzungumzia hivi leo katika masomo mawili matatu ya kisiasa. Nasikia kama sauti iko sawa. Nataka nikukaribisha moja kwa moja ikiwa katika maeneo yale ambayo unayoyawakilisha katika ile upande ambao unawakilisha upande saidi yako, sehemu yako, na kukaribisha moja kwa moja, ila tunakuambia kwamba tumechelewa kidogo, tukitomba mtie radhi kwa sababu ya hiyo. Lakini kwa sasa hivi nataka nikukaribishe katika mtandao wetu wa siku hii ya leo. Tuzidi kupiga mawili matatu tuweze kujua kwamba masuala ya PPI yameweza kuona vipi na ni swala lipi lile ambalo limeweza kuzungumziwa kule, ama aidha kama wewe mwananchi wa kawaida ni yapi ama ni maoni yako ni yapi kuhusiana na ile kwamba PPI imeweza kuonga mwamba, it is null and void the PPI, you know, katika mahakama ya rufaa, imekuja katika mahakama makuu, mahakama ya juu, tumekuja na katika Supreme Court, samahani, na tuweza kuona kwamba tunaweza kutupilia mbali katika masuala ya PPI na kusema kwamba huo mchakato, it was an initiative that was involved with the government. The president is not allowed kuweza kuingia into the popular initiative. So meaning that who failed who? That we want to talk about this issue here. Ni nani alifaili mwingine? Who failed who? Yeah? If it is PPI, if you nani alifaili due to some circumstances, then who failed the PPI? If there was a PPI, and then the president, was he supposed to support the PPI, the popular initiative or whatever? So who failed who? Is the president who failed? Is the Raila who failed? Is the team who failed? Is the handshake who failed? And then was that the Attorney General, the advisor of the law, who was supposed to advise the president? Where were the advisors? Where were the lawyers? They were to advise the president. You are not supposed to do what APCD. And now we see here, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga amesema kwamba he is going to amend, anaenda kushirikia katika vile vipengele ambavyo vilikuwa na tatizo, ambavyo vilikuwa kusemekana kwamba viweze kuunga mkono na rais, kusema kwamba watashughulikia kule. So you see such kind of or whatever. I think now we should see on which way. You know, mimi sijui sasa ama Pado Reggae iko half time. I don't know kama Reggae Pado iko half time, kama haiko half time. I don't understand, but fanya hivi mtu wangu, if you're watching me from wherever you are, tafadhali na wapatia ringi Fred Mogendi, lazima niwapatie ringi. Nilifika kwenye show na nataka niweze kufungua show ya siku hii ya leo, niwapatie mwelekeo mzuri, tuweze kujua kwamba tunazidi kufika mpaka wapi, tujue kwamba tunazungumzia kuhusu nini. So nataka niwapatie mwelekeo mzuri hapa, na kisha baadaye tukianza tunaanza kwa safari moja. So fanya hivi mtu wangu, kama unatazama kwa njia iliyo safi, na nataka ufanye hivi, enda pale katika hiyo show yetu siku hii ya leo, chukua hiyo show, chukua hiyo link, ukichukua hiyo link ya siku hii ya leo, kisha kaanza kushare link yetu ya siku hii ya leo katika kwa marafiki zako ama katika ndugu zako, watumie hiyo link ya Kisii Hot TV katika masuala ya PPI. Nataka kusikia kwa maoni yao ni yapi, hasa kama wewe Mkenya, ikiwa tu ni Mkenya uko hapa uko nje ya nchi, ama wewe ni Mkenya unaye hapa upo hapa ndani ya nchi. Je, una swali lipi kuhusiana na mchakato wa PPI? Kwa PPI imeweza kukataliwa mbali. Je, will you just mind what will you take? Je, wewe utachukua hilo swala vipi? Ingekuwa ni wewe, ungesema nini? Unasema nini? Ungeomba kwa ungekuwa pale, labda maana yako napo ungeweza kuzungumzia katika siku hii ya leo. So nataka niweze kufanya mawili matatu hapa, niweze kuchukua hii link ya siku hii ya leo. Nataka kusikia maoni yenu tafadhali. Nataka tuweze kujadiliana kwenye show, watu wajadiliane kwenye show ninapoendelea kuwakilisha katika maeneo haya, watu waweze kukuja kwa show tafadhali. Naona pale watu I see kuna watu wanapotea long time sana. tuweze kuzungumzia masuala mawili matatu, tujue kwamba hasa hili swala linatufikisha katika muda upi, na kuwapatia link, na kisha baadaye tuko na baadhi ya yale maneno ambayo tunataka kuzungumzia hii video, kwa sababu ya haja ya kisiasa pia. Nataka tuweze kuzungumzia mambo mawili matatu kuhusiana na haya mambo ambayo tunayoyafanya hapa. Tuko katika mzimu, tunaelekea nominations za kila chama zinaendelea, lakini hapa tunaendelea katika, kuna nominations ambazo zinaendelea katika maeneo mengine yale. Tumeona pale nominations zimefanyika, kwanza hazijaanza, lakini kuna zile tetezi za kusema kwamba unajua kuna uhuru wa chama kinazamua kufanya kitu chochote kile, unaona. So hapa nimeweza kusikia kwamba kwanza ile tumekuwa na maandamano niona kwamba maandamano katika mji wa Kisii Town hapa, walikuwa wanalalama kwamba kwamba Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga hajaweza kufikisha katika hasa wale women rep, wale women rep wanasema kwamba walikuwa wanalalama, wanasema kwamba wale women hawajafanywa vizuri, kwamba kuna tetesi kwamba kuna baadhi ya mmoja amepatiwa tikiti. Sifahamu hilo, ilikuwa tuni riots town mzima. Lakini kabla tuweze kufanya mawili matatu, we want to talk about Bbi Null and void. It hits the corner. The Bbi imehit the corner today, meaning kwamba inafaa kufanywa nini? Matanga, au sio? Ukiuliza watu wale wa Kenya Kwanza watakwambia kwamba Bbi inafaa kufanywa matanga. Unaona pale, lakini kwa watu Azimio, watu wale wa Jubilee na Azimio kule wanakuambia kwamba Bbi imeenda half time, it is coming back, you see. So kwamba tumeweza kuona kwamba hasa kuna vile vipengele ambavyo Raila sema kwamba kuna baadhi ile sehemu ambayo mahakama iliweza kuunga na ikaweza kukubaliana, lakini kuna kile kipengele ambacho cha rais kuiunga Bbi ndio leta tatizo. So kwa kumaanisha kwamba hapa ndio nimekuwa na swali kubwa zaidi. Je, of course tuko na tatizo, ama of course hii ni Bbi, lakini what was the political advisors? Where was the Attorney General? The Attorney General, he was the one to get the president all about the law. What about the law that this, you know, you're the president, you're in power. If you do APCD, if you go and to amend the constitution, there's some article plan, it cannot allow you to amend the constitution. Now the Attorney General, he has failed. I can say the Attorney General. Where was this? We say the lawyers, the political lawyers or whatever. You have these people, they allied to Azimio, Academic Solengo. They were to advise the president, if they were serious with the Bbi, and it was an initiative that was to help the Kenyans. So they were to take the president to step aside. And we saw the other day when the president was somewhere, he said like he promised to work on the Bbi. But you see, there's some days the president came arrogant. The president was so rude. When the Bbi was nullified, was void and nullified, and he said that Bbi ni kwa mpepa maisha wa Kenya, and now umeanza kukataa hapa. You see, and we see not the Supreme Court itself, it has said now this one, it was not amended constitutionally. So meaning like they didn't follow according to the rules of the constitution to amend the law. And you know, this is a democratic country. Now we see, and we have full trust. Tumeanza kukuwa na imani tosha. But again, we want to talk about Raila promises on Bbi. Raila promised on Bbi, amesema kwamba, and you know what, if you say like that, I'm going to do it APCD. So what do we mean? So meaning kwamba hizi ni kama unajua from the first time moment when we saw this thing happen, when there was nullification and the void of the Bbi, we had Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga saying that we have gone for halftime. So I don't know, still if you are at halftime that you are promising us you are going to amend and come with the clear information and what the Bbi has for the Kenyans. I don't understand it there. So you can, if you are watching me from wherever you are, please let me know where you're watching me from. Again, we can talk about the riots of Kisii over ticket. I saw riots, people rioting that want to pay a ticket free. We saw Gladys Wanga being given men were stepped down. I heard like they were forced. Tumesikia kwamba Evans Kidero, the former governor in Nairobi County, saying that he is going to look for a different party and he's going to come up. He's going to vie for governorship in Homa Bay County. Whereby, but the ticket, it has been given to Gladys Wanga without going to nominations. What does that mean? What does the nomination mean? And I've seen so many people from Kisii County rioting, saying that there's no, we want a nomination, free and fair nominations on ODM tickets. They've been complaining about the ticket to Janet Ongera, who's been given the ticket of ODM to run for the women rep again for the second term in Kisii County. Well, but the reasons have come out in a huge number and have said that it is not good. It's denying the Gusii people their right to vote. Even I heard something they said like when we go to 2017, when there was elections of 2017, the same incident happened, whereby those one who were supposed to be given the direct ticket of ODM, MPs, MCAs were not be able to access the tickets. They were denied the tickets. So many that those ones with the huge money, they were given the tickets, they were paying to be given the tickets. And now that's what they were saying. In Kisii County, we didn't elect any parliament, any seat for parliament or for what this is talk about the parliamentary seat from ODM. They say that the ODM it never scored, it never got any MP from Kisii region. That is Kisii and Nyamira. Meaning what? They say that those people who are capable to be their leaders, they were denied the tickets and they decided to go for small parties that were under NASA. And that's now they emerge to be the leaders, the MPs now of today we speak about. And they were saying like they want the free and the fair nominations. That's what we want us to talk about. Kenya Kwanza, we saw them. They were very happy. They were very happy. You saw what Kenya Kwanza even before the ruling of the PPI. We had them saying like they were talking after ruling imetoka nje, tumesikia pale wakiongea. You have heard what the leader of UDA Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto kila ambacho amezungumza. I don't know what's your take today. What you do want to talk about the PPI? What do you want to talk about this issue about PPI? Je, kama wewe Mkenya, we want to hear maoni yako. Wewe unakubaliana kwamba it is null to nullify ama to nullify the null and void the BPI ama ulikuwa unataka iendelee? What do you see? Was there any importance? Was there any important issue there that was specifically meant for the Kenyans that the court or whatever has denied for Kenyans? You see, so what is your concern? Je, kama wewe Mkenya ulikuwa unakubaliana kwamba ati tuwe na hiyo PPI ama ulikuwa unakataa? So kama you are watching me from anywhere place, wote wapatie link hapa niweze kusikiza kutoka kwenye hapa side nyingine hapa naona Fred Mogendi I see you. So kwamba tuma link ndio nawapatia hapa right on time. I see somebody here anaitwa GRDC, umenipotelea sana my friend. Anasema kwamba in Kukurikundi from 001 to Mombasa, karibu sana. First Iswae fans from Jogo ya Kisii ama Jogo ya Nairobi ama Jogo ya wapi? Unajua Jogo ni mingi na hata kuna Jogo ile ya nyumbani ya ushago. Sijui Jogo ya wapi? Karibu sana. I see Meren Osongo, niko ndani pro kutoka Parin. Hamadi Town na kupata poka. Asante sana. Katwe send link nishauka link pale. Watu waweze kufika kwenye show tuweze kusikia maoni yako ya mawili matatu kuhusiana na PPI, notification of PPI and void. Tusikie kama wewe Mkenya halisi, Mkenya una feel aje? What would you have any pain? Do you have anything to say? We want to give it the full time to talk about the PPI notification of PPI. Je, wewe unasema nini kama Mkenya? Mkaenda moto tafadhali kufungua kamera na msisahau kutuma rambirambi zenyu kwa kadri ya mashabiki wetu pale ambao waweze kupoteza wenzao pale, you see, and you know kama Masi kuambuka ama gift safari yake ya mwisho ni kesho. Brother Freddy Mogendi, fungua microphone na kamera ndio niko na hapa. Mogendi, Freddy.
Brother Freddy Mogendi. That is what it says. And then the 4 issues that she kept mentioning in her ruling, other than the million signatures, what else? Winning the support of more than half of county assemblies. These things did happen, but who initiated it? Yeah. Yes, there were the 2 dissenting.
Kuna mtu tafadhali naomba utumite mic hapa kidogo. It's fine. I hear there's no echo. And kama Freddy simpati, katwe.
Yes, my brother. How are you?
How are you? I'm fine.
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Welcome to our 20 show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really want to correct a statement that you made. BBI was not confirmed null and void. BBI was it was on the process was, or the one that was altered, and there was no way it was made null and void. There were 7 key what do you call, appeals that were taken to the Superior Appellate Court that probably they were to be heard, and one of the appellants was the petitioners were the IBC, the Solicitor General, the Attorney General, and other amicus curiae who presented. There was the activist was Alocher, and they presented a lot of appeals that the 7 appeals, and they were heard by 7 judges in the Supreme Court, and some of them dissented on their rulings. Some of them gave out their rulings depending on which number depending on which number they wanted to rule on. So the Chief Justice started by giving her submission and opinions on what she was thinking. She was thinking of what was on the BBI, and one of the key points was the basic doctrine that had been there was and everybody kept on referring to a case in India that was the basis of reference, and it was nullified by all 7 judge bench that it cannot be able to apply in Kenya. And the second one was the if I remember very well, was suing the president, was about if the president can be able to initiative. And some of the judgments that were given is that the president cannot be able to initiate a popular initiative. And you saw some of them saying that the MP for Sunnis, Dennis, was a former member of parliament of Kikuyu. They were the ones that popularized this initiative. Of course, the only way BBI could have come to life today was if and only if that second appeal could have been vacated by the Supreme Court. Remember, the Court of Appeal had already decided that the president cannot kickstart any popular initiative in Kenya, since he cannot be the president and a civilian at the same time. But if you check on what the judges were talking about, especially if you took the judgment by Njoki Ndung'u, you're saying that the rights of the president have been violated in this sense, that one, he does not cease to become a voter. If at all you want to say that he cannot kickstart an initiative, a popular initiative, then you are depriving him from becoming a voter. And so another thing that you are saying that he cannot kickstart a popular initiative, and the popular initiative, the only way the amendments can be changed is through legislation, through the representation of the people, and that is in chapter 1, that the people, it's the people by the people, and it can only be changed by the legislation. Does it mean that it does not represent people? Okay, the people of Kenya. So it was a question of probability of balance on who was taking the day. But I have to say this, it was not declared null and void. It was only, if you check the last statement by Lady Justice Martha Koome, there are things that she allowed to be appealed. You remember that there are only 2 that could not be appealed, and she stated, and even if you need to the contents, we need to wait for the main ruling and what we call the main ruling, not even the main ruling, the details of the ruling, so that we can be able to know what really happened and what can be able to appeal. And right now, if you check, if they want to kickstart the BBI, they are free to kickstart the BBI. Remember, the only thing that was confirmed unconstitutional were 2. One being that the president cannot kickstart any popular initiative, cannot initiate any popular initiative. The second thing was on the creation of the constituencies that were not allowed, they were unconstitutional. And so the rest of the things can be done. In fact, there was nowhere the Supreme Court says that the BBI is bad or it's wrong. They only said that the process was the one that was wrong. So I am not seeing why Kwanza should be celebrating that. The celebration is too early. In the first place, this BBI really denied us some economic people. You know, the propaganda that was going around, it is that BBI was going to create a lot of economic sabotage in terms of payment of the prime minister, the extended executive to be precise. But we are what the Kenya Kwanza is not telling the Kenyans that it has denied. For example, the central region, 80 billion worth of economy, because you remember that in the creation of the new constituencies and the 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, it has really created that imbalance in terms of which constituency is supposed to be getting this and this. Take an example, a constituency, Thika constituency. Thika constituency has almost 30,000, not 30,000, almost 100,000 voters. Go back to Mbalambala in Garissa. Mbalambala in Garissa, there are only around 15,000 people there. So it means that when you're giving them CDF of 100 million, which is given as a constant figure to every constituency, how much do you think Mbalambala will be getting per person, and vis-a-vis how much Thika constituency will be getting per person? That is what the BBI was trying to solve. That this thing of trying to say that just because we are fewer, so we should be getting more money, and these other people also paying taxes, it was coming to solve. And you remember there was an issue of that they were not going to take money from those constituencies and reduce the money, but they were saying that now, because it is in Northeastern, now we need to bring in not the issue of 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. They were going to bring 1 man, 1 kilometer, 1 shilling, because now it is vast. So I'm not seeing the reason as to why people were saying that the BBI is bad, because I do remember that in 2010 there were allegations from more especially the Honorable Deputy President, who was saying that if this constitution passes, that it is going to bring in homosexuality, and people really bought this analogy and stupid propaganda. Allow me to use that word. I'll withdraw, but it is something that really created a lot of mayhem. And I don't think that this propaganda should hold waters. People should tell the Kenyans the truth, that this is that when he was saying that, you see, if 15% we are not getting 15%, where will we get 35%? And this is the same person who is going to public and saying that I'm going to bring 100 billion to you. So where is he going to get 100 billion? Whereas he's not, whereas he's saying that 35% is difficult to get. So it is really a chain of propaganda and a cloud of propaganda that really do not make any sense to me. So people should be telling people, politicians should be telling the electorates the truth. Do not go just because you want to. Like right now, when the deputy president was saying that it is about creation of positions. What is he doing right now with Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula? There is nothing that is doing but rather to create those positions to suit his political ambition. And that is the truth. So when we want to do politics, let us tell the electors the truth, because you cannot be saying this today, you'll be saying this tomorrow. You go around telling people that BBI is bad, and the same Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi is the one who was on camera signing for the BBI when the launch was there. So today, how comes the BBI is bad to him? So I'm not getting why people are having this thing or analogies that now we should follow one direction just because they just say. Allow, because I've seen another panelist coming in. Let me allow for submissions too. Thank you. Your mic, host, mute your mic, unmute your mic, I mean.
Sorry, pole. Before Fred Mogendi apatiane issue yake hapa, there is a statement Mheshimiwa Silvanus Osoro alisema even before the ruling iweze ama before the final declaration iweze kumekwa pale katika Supreme Court. He said like this, yaani deep state haingeweza kufufua hata PPI pekee. Hawa watu wawache hivyo maajabu. So you know, you want to see so the guys from the other side, they are saying like the government, the deep state, he was supposed to stand still and protect and revive the PPI. That's according to, usikia kwamba statement yao mingi ni kusema kwamba mbona government deep state kuweza kuokoa PPI. So whereby the Kenyans, naona pale Raila ametokea na kusema kwamba ameridhika na amefurahi, amezungumza na amesema kwamba ataenda kushughulikia, anako sawa, hajapinga, hajakataa. Lakini what these guys from this side wanatuambia hizo stories zingine. Najua kwamba Fred Mogendi ako hapa aweze kutuambia mengi. Karibu sana. Naona hapa Humble Lee, hata umenisahau. Sijakusahau Lydia. Wale nisome comment yako nione Fred tena ameenda wapi? Ameenda wapi jamani?
Fredin kama amedrop. I wanted to comment on that what you just said there.
Sasa mimi atanimaliza. Humble Lady Lee anasema kwamba my dear Kukudikuntu, how are you? Long time, have missed you, hope you are doing well. Hata umenisahau. Humble Lydia Lee, sijakusahau. Ulienda ukapotea na kupotea, sisi tupo. Karibu sana Lydia, and I know tuko pamoja. Karibu sana Katu, tuendelee. Ni kama Fredina network ndio shida.
I want to comment on that. If you checked what Martha Koome said as before she delivered her judgment, alikuwa anaonya hawa mawakili. And one of the wakilis, you see, Osoro ni wakili. The code of conduct of advocates, ilikuwa not even the code of conduct alone, that there is something in law we call sub judice, where you are not supposed to be discussing anything pending, any case that is in court pending judgment. And uliona senior counsel Alfred Nasir and Angawa and Nelson Harvey wakistumiwa sana na Lady Justice Martha Koome, that you see, it is not proper to go to the social media because that is intimidating the judges. So by also saying and criticizing that the deep state could not salvage BBI, one thing is peddling propaganda. They are the same people a few days ago who were saying that if the judges have been given bribe to salvage BBI, we are not going to accept. Today, the judges did not salvage BBI. That means that they were bribed. Why don't they want to believe in the rule of law and believe in the system, in the court of justice? Because this BBI from the court of the High Court and the Court of Appeal and now the Supreme Court, it has gone to their favor. So when it will come a time when the judgment will not go to their favor, they start saying that that one, the judges have been bought. And remember this is the same court that nullified President Uhuru's elections. President Uhuru's victory was nullified in that court. The only person who was not in that court, there are only two, Justice Oko and Justice Mark Home. But you see, it's not about the judge, it's about the court. So when they are saying that this and this is going to happen, when it will go down to their side, let them not say that the judges were being bought. And that is very wrong. That is misleading the public. That is to me, that those are shenanigans. They should stop and desist from interfering with the public knowledge. They should desist from kuendelea kuongeza moto kwa public. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Katwe. Freddy Mogendi, Freddy mambo. Freddy?
Poa sana bwana.
Umepoteaje? Unaendelea salama pro?
Baada ya siku mingi.
Salama sana labda wewe.
Aha, unanipata?
Nakupata vizuri tena zaidi. Sauti iko sawa.
Haya sasa, mi ndi huyu. Siku mingi bwana.
Sisi tuko hapa, karibu sana.
Sasa mimi nataka kuuliza Katwe huyo Stira na support BBI. Okay, my submission I want to make napea what High Court kongore kwa kutubiria hii takataka mbali.
Okay.
Na nataka kuambia Katwe tusianze kusema eti Nelson Avia anaendeleza propaganda.
Point of order.
People wanaendeleza propaganda ni Amoro Tiende.
Point of order, Chair.
Amoro Tiende na sijui ilikuwa what.
Freddy. Before you continue, say that there's a point of order and you endelee.
Point of order, ibu endelea na hiyo point of order.
My fellow panelist, anafaa atumie lugha mzuri when it comes to public, because this is not a private chat, this is a public chat. So wakati unasema takataka, be sure that a lot of people are listening and it's not in order. Kindly, if you can withdraw that statement and continue. It's not prudent for you to say takataka because we are in public, we are not in a private chat.
Yes, and Freddy. Freddy, back to you. Are you getting me? Freddy? Freddy? It's fine. It's okay. Ndio amekuja na hapa side nyingine. Hapa amehangi. Freddy? Yes, umesikia point of order.
Hii network yangu bwana. Sijasikia hata.
Okay, Katwe unaweza rudia, amesema kwamba hajakupata vizuri kwa sababu ya hali ya network.
Freddy, I want to say this, because it's a public forum, and we are trying to educate listeners and viewers, and whatever that we say here, it can impact positively or negatively. I don't think if you're in order kutumia jina takataka in public because we are not in a, unajua kama ingekuwa private forum it's okay. since it's a public forum, it's not good to use such words. And if you've listened for me very well, the chair can testify. Hakuna mahali nimetumia vulgar language. Thank you.
Okay. Sawa. Mi kitu nilikuwa nasema, Nelson Havi alikuwa anatetea common mwananchi. Lakini like somebody ile kutetea watu wachache wa
Freddy, ni kama tena network imemtupa nje. Freddy, ni kama network yake iko na shida. Okay, anyway, sijui kama network kirudi atakuwa amerejea hapa, so we can continue. Katwe, what can you say? Katwe, there's something you said all about kuhusu the Nelson Havi, and what about what Madam Koome said. This sound okay. If you can repeat, Freddy aweze kusikia kwamba of course kama alikuwa anatetea common mwananchi, but they are kwa yani unajua kutumia platform ambayo iko inafaa kutumika. So we can continue. Katwe, nono kama jamaa network yake inamsumbua ama tumnunulie data. Yes, we can continue.
The thing was Nelson Havi was a respondent. I think he was a respondent in that case because he was not the one who had appealed for that case. So he was a respondent in that case. And I think he was representing LSK, if I'm not wrong, because by the time there was an appeal, he was still the chairman of LSK. If I'm not wrong, I stand to be corrected. So the Nelson Havi had that. I've said that in law there's something called a subjoa, where a subjudice, where you are not supposed to be discussing any matter that is before court pending a ruling. And Nelson Havi, Ahmed Nasir, senior counsel, and Advocate Tangawa took to social media to preempt the decision of the Supreme Court. And that is why the Lady Justice Mother Koome was saying that is bad manners. People should desist from doing that, and they should revisit their code of conduct of advocacy. So I'm not saying that Nelson Havi was doing a mistake by being a respondent in the Supreme Court. He was within his rights, his legal rights to be a respondent, and pending the fact that yeye ni wakili. But you see, there are things that he did that really angered the court. So yeye kutetea common mwananchi, there's no problem. I have no problem with that. Every person has a right to be represented in court. Every person has a right to say whatever they want to say in the public or in court. So those were my submissions about Nelson Havi.
Yes, Freddy. Yes, you know the right Raila Amolo Odinga. He stated like, I know that the PPI process has been upheld. What has been faulted is the role by the state. The state is said to have played at the commencement of the popular initiative, and that's what that's what all about. Raila Amolo said. Yes, Katuko, you can continue. And propose and yes, you can continue. I'm coming back.
Yeah, what Raila Amolo Odinga was talking about was not actually, he was saying that the BBI has been upheld, only that the process was one that had a problem. Basically, when it comes to the matters of law, there is a process where justice goes about. Every defense lawyer will tell you that they do not go on the act itself; they go to the process. And BBI was not a problem. The problem was the process at which it was initiated from start, and there is a process of amending the law. So there is a way the law is amended, and the process was the one that was wrong. Pending the appeal by the ones that were in the High Court and the Court of Appeal, there was that thing that they were saying that the President of the Republic of Kenya cannot start any popular initiative, and that is where the camel broke. Yes.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you have something you can continue at most 30 minutes, because I have an emergency. I have an emergency somewhere. I want to attend, please. Somebody, kuna mtu ameingia mahali, tunapea hapa na Freddy. Kuna mtu ameingia mahali na gari, nataka kumsaidia kidogo. You just allow me in a few minutes, I'll be back.
Okay. Do you have the? We cannot be allowing other people to come in anyway. Freddy, I don't know if Freddy is kicked out, how he's going to come back, but I'm hoping that.
But if you have something you can call, you comment, you can talk about the PPN or whatever, about the nomination of the ticket of the or whatever, you can still continue within that minutes. I'll be back and see the I am coming back.
So Freddy, are you there? Freddy, are you there? First of all, is Fred there?
Freddy, uko? Network ana hang in a network.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
So Fred, if you're there, just make sure that your network doesn't go off, because the person who can be able to let you in is going out for some time. So Fred Mogendi. Okay. So Kenyans, basically what really happened today, and I just wish that people could come in and talk about what really happened in Kisii today. We had a lot that has been happening, a lot actually. So there is the issue of there was the issue of nominations that happened in Kisii, and that some of them were given direct tickets, and it was I think it was Janet Ongera who won the ticket for women representative for Kisii County. There was another ticket that was issued to Simbarati for the gubernatorial seat in Kisii. So it really brought out of mayhem. It really brought a lot of mayhem, and I think it is now time that we really need to have a very viable discussions on what it should be done when it comes to what really needs to be done when it comes to nations. Of course, there's a process of nominations. We do understand that there is the consensus where people agree on maybe basically what we call the people who are vying agree that now you see, because you are a little bit popular or whatever the way they can agree, as long as they come with a consensus method of coming with only one candidate who is going to clinch the party nominations ticket. And the second one is the scientific one, where people conduct the opinion polls, the party conducts the opinion polls to go and determine who is more popular than the other. Of course, there are a lot of interest when it comes to politics. The third one is now the nomination process, where you vote members of the party vote and determine who is going to take the ticket. So in this case, where in Kisii there was a problem, because there is the lady Donya Toto, and there was Bridget Nyatichi, I think she was also vying from the ODM ticket, and there was Janet Ongera, who also was vying from the ticket. So we have not really established which method between the three that was used to give Janet Ongera the ticket, and that is why you saw a lot of chaos that erupted in Kisii town. There were a lot of demonstrations going round and round. The people trying that you see this is a problem. We don't want this. We don't want. Of course, it's the voice of the people that need to be considered. The voice of the people that need to be taken into control. So, I think the only way to go. I don't know what the statement of ODM has just said, has just given across, but we are hoping that that as time goes by, they are going to solve this issue of nomination. Also, you saw what happened in Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga being given a ticket to run for the gubernatorial seat against Kidero. Kidero, who was denied the ticket, and I think the fact that Kidero has been a governor in Nairobi. After being a governor in Nairobi, he did not clinch the second term, which was 2017, 2022. He decided to go to Homa Bay, where I think he comes from. And then after that, he has been campaigning for some time, actually. Has been campaigning for some time, trying to get that ticket, and the ticket now was given to Gladys Wanga to run for that ticket. And there is another problem in Siaya, actually, where you saw the former police spokesman, Charles Owino, defecting to UDM and supporting Gumbo, engineer Nicholas Gumbo, such that they are both in UDM. Now the aspirant was going to be Sorengo. I don't know if they've given that ticket to James Ngo, a direct ticket, who is coming from the Senate to run for the gubernatorial. There is a question of how this process of nomination is being done. And I think in ODM, they have already started the process earlier, because I think next week they're going to conduct the party nations. So it is a process where they really need to consolidate and come and sit down. Maybe the last thing I will speak about is the rallies of Kenya Kwanza that were in Wajir, and they were really waiting the ruling of the Supreme Court so that they can be able to comment on public. So today there are a lot of political heat all over the Supreme Court ruling, people going around, and also there is an issue of Kalonzo Musyoka, who probably rumors has it that he has been speaking with the Kwanza. The truth of that matter has not been confirmed, and people are really waiting for how it will unfold, because you remember that when he was coming to Azimio Umoja, he was forcing that the name of the coalition be called Azimio la Umoja Oka. And the registrar of political parties, after that day, she came out in public to say that you cannot register two coalitions at the same time. You only have one coalition. And once you register in a coalition, you cease to become a member of the former coalition. And Martha Karua also, after some few days, she pronounced Oka to be dead. To be dead. So I think it's a question. It's a question of what we really need to do about the Kenyan politics. It is getting messy. It is getting so heated, and people are trying to really crumble for whatever that they can get the seats. And you've seen a lot of political heat going around. So it's a question of what really do. First of all, what I will encourage all the voters in Kenya is to make sure that we conduct this election in a peaceful way. That peace has to prevail. Peace has to be our talk of the town all the time. That whenever you meet these politicians, the first thing they should assure you that they are going to be part of the peace treaty between the voters who are going to vote for them. So it has been a very busy day for Kenya. It has been a very busy day internationally. I know probably the host did not highlight, Kenya has already been suspended indefinitely from the FIFA. And it's a question where we need to have a sit down and have a discussion. What is the future of our football? Because we have been banned again from playing outside matches. So what are the impacts of what has just happened, in as much as we are talking about politics? So it's a question of what we really need to do as a country. We are heading towards the general election. What are the things that we need to do? What are the things that we are not supposed to be doing? What are the things that we really need to embrace for successful countries, other democratic countries like the US, there are other democratic countries like the UK, what they've really done, what are some of the things that we should borrow from the Scandinavian countries, where we see there is always peace, there is there is that admittance of the rule of law, that they respect the rule of law all the time. We need to see what we can be able to borrow as a country so that we can survive these 2020 elections. But we are still praying to God that it will be very, very, very peaceful at everybody, every electorate, every voter, every person that is living, whoever it might be, either a foreigner or anyone, that we are going to conduct these elections in a peace, love and tranquility, that whenever we sing the national anthem, that those words will sink in within us. So it's a question of what and where and how we need to talk and have a discussion of the same. So we are still waiting for the host to come back. We are going to if you're in the comment section, you can write on what you feel. Fred Morgan, I can see you. You can write on what you really feel it's going to happen, and what you feel about today's ruling and judgments and all that. If you're in the comment section, that is, kindly give us your feedback from the comment section. I'm going to give you a shout out from this end, and so that we can have a viable conversation of what we really need to do. I can see a lot of people watching right now, so come on the comment section, give us your views on what you really think should be done when it comes to these elections, and what has really been happening day in, day out, and give some solutions. Let us have a conversation going. Let's keep the conversation going, that every time we have an election, we lose money, we lose people, taxpayers. We really go to we really go on the downside, politically, economically, and socially. This is the time when you remember that your neighbor is called Njuguna. This is the time where you remember that your neighbor is called Otieno. This is the time where you remember your neighbor is called Musyoka or Mogaka. But during that time, nobody ever really thinks that your neighbor is from this community. And we as a country, and more especially since it's Kisii Hot TV, we are a county that is very peaceful. And if I can remember, when we were back in 2007, we were the most peaceful county. In fact, we were welcoming other people who had been displaced from other places. And that is the spirit that we really need to take. That is the spirit that we really need to embrace. That is the spirit all the time that we need to take. So we need to have a conversation. I'm not seeing people coming in as much. We are still waiting for the host to come and accept people. I don't know if there are people who are on the back that have not been accepted to the live chat. but we are still waiting for them to come and let's have a conversation. If you are in the comment section, just give a shout out. Just write your comment. I'll give you a shout out so that we can continue with the conversation. And as we continue, we need to give solutions to what we feel that is right. I'm going to give a call to the host so that I can be able to reach him. And okay, I cannot be able to get him because maybe probably the his phone is switched off. Thank you so much. Humble Lady Lee, I can see you there. So let's keep on with the conversation going as we wait for the host to come back. I'm still hoping that we really get the host to come back as early as possible so that we can continue with the conversation, so that we can really know where the problem is as a country, so that we can continue being a united country. And I really love the way we've improved in terms of democracy. I really love the way we've improved in terms of how we reason in terms of politics. What I really love what I really like to urge our voters is that whenever you see a politician coming to you, let them not sell propaganda, let them not sell fear to you, let them not give you handouts. After the handout, you'll never see them, and that is the reason as to why probably people after elections they start crying that we really elected a bad person. But in the sense, we did not elect that bad person. That person paid you, so you do not have any moral authority to question why probably is in power. So let us not continue by putting wrong people in office, wrong. Um, we continue putting wrong people in office and continue complaining that, hey, this is what happened. It's like having a woman, and then once you've married the woman, you start complaining, I married a wrong woman. That is very wrong. That is wrong. That is uncouth. So we need to have that conversation so that at least we can say that we have really, really, really transformed this country. We need to fight for what we believe in. And by fighting means that your voice should be heard on the ballot at any given time and place. So I am urging all the voters who are there to desist from this propaganda that the politicians are selling, so that we can forget um, about those propaganda and continue with our day in day out activity as we wait for the 9th August to vote wisely. I'm going to give another submission on on the propaganda that has been going around, more especially on the corruption cases. You've heard a lot of people saying, probably politicians saying that because I am aligned to a certain coalition is because that's why I'm being haunted by either EACC or KRA or the DCI. Uh, my submission and education to the electorate is that the voters is that one, it is the job of the KRA to collect taxes. It is the job of the DCI to investigate any criminal act. It is the job of the DCI to ensure. It is the job of EACC to ensure that that all corruption cases are investigated.